G'day, and welcome to the Ultimate Survivor 100 Day series. I have 100 days to beat Scorched Earth and ascend to Aberration. If you haven't seen the previous two videos, make sure you watch them. I'm sorry this video took so long. I'll explain why a bit later, but for now, let's jump into Day 1.
This desert wasteland was a turning point for Helena and her allies. It was here that her fellow explorer Rockwell began his spiral into darkness. If only Helena could have seen the threat that was so close to her, where Rockwell's experiments would lead. There's danger lurking beneath these sands, survivor. Seek out this Ark's guardian and find your way to where I'm waiting for you.
Okay, Day 1. Gathering berries, punching these cacti, getting wood, then I make a pick, and an axe, some spears, and a bowler. I bowler and spear this parasaur so I can get its meat and hide, and I already love the fact that I don't have to relearn engrams. Having the levels already is very nice. Now I can make a bow and some arrows, and then I knock out this Jeroboa. These are pretty handy on Scorched Earth. They tell you when weather events are coming. And I name him Jezza. Soon after, I find this nice little river, and I set up some foundations for a temporary base. I get a mortar and pestle down and start setting up walls. Get some storage in. And now we're all nice and closed in. With the mortar and pestle, I get started on some narcotics, and I knock out this level 95 parasaur. Underneath my base there's these metal nodes, so I farm enough to make a smithy and some metal tools. I get a forge placed down so I can smelt my metal. I then place down a bed and get some meat cooking on the campfire. My parasaur is all tamed up, so put a saddle on him and gather some berries. Now I can make a butt ton of narcotics. Enough metal is smelted so I can make my smithy, so I get that placed down. I make a metal pick and a hatchet. I then go and farm the rest of those nodes with my metal pick. I've already started to grow out of this base, so I'm expanding it a little bit. I'm making some more forges. I notice this raptor hanging around my base, so before he causes any trouble, I'm going to knock him out and tame him. In the evening of Day 1, this direwolf's hanging around, so I decided to knock her out as well. She puts up a good chase, but eventually, she goes down. On the morning of Day 2, I catch this roo. I then knock him out and spend quite a while just farming rare mushrooms. That's the only thing they eat, I think. Eventually I got enough. I wanted to tame one of these guys because I've heard they're a good travel mount. And yeah, I've never tamed one before. I then decided to upgrade my thatch hut to a wood hut. Now I'm a bit more protected from any wild dinos. I named my direwolf Luna after my gorgeous German Shepherd, and that's our other little cutie Nami. She's a cavoodle, and she's actually the reason why this video took so long, but I'll get to that later. I named the raptor Raffi, and the parasaur Layla. Day 2, and it's time for some exploring. I head up to the local mountain to find some crystal so I can make a spyglass. I would have taken the Procoptodon, but I can't make the saddle because it's like really expensive. It needs a bunch of metal and fur. So lunar it is. But I get the crystal I need, and then I get back home, kill some stuff, and I can finally make the Procoptodon saddle. I name the Procoptodon Joey. And I go for my first ride, and holy crap can these guys jump. It is awesome. I'm definitely taming another one of these on other maps. Like I said, I've never had one before, so this was awesome. And they're actually insane at collecting berries too. And I got roasted by this purple drop. On our travels, I came across this low-level female Rex. I'm gonna knock her out, because I want to use it for kibble purposes. It just means later on, when I'm taming Rexes for the boss fight, I can tame them at a higher efficiency. I find some metal nodes near the Rex, and eventually she tames up. And in the evening of day 2, I just ran around getting drops. I got a decent Anki saddle, a chainsaw blueprint, and a chitin chest piece. Day 3, and I place down a fabricator, and then I upgrade all my armor to desert cloth. And at this point, I noticed my recordings were 2 hours long per day. So I guess Scorched Earth has double the day and night cycle. So I went into the settings and changed it so a day is 1 hour. Today I'm going to tame up some Argies. So I make a long neck, a trap, and some bullets, and I head off to the mountains. After about 15 minutes, I come across this level 100, so I decide that's good enough for now, so I get it, put in the trap. She's starting to get really bloody, but after this last trank, she goes down, thankfully, before this Kano gets to it. I'm slowly dying from the heat, so luckily I brought this tent and I just chill in here until the Argy tames up. I head home and make a saddle, and then go straight out to look for an Anki and a Dodic. I find this level 120, so I scoop it up, take it back to base so I can knock it out. Then I find this level 105 Dodic, and I do the exact same thing. The Dodic goes down pretty easily, and by day 4, they're both tamed up. I name the Anki Brussels, and the Dodic Spike. I head back to the mountains to tame some more Argies, and I knock out this level 130. As it was taming up, this beautiful sunset came down, and this map is actually really pretty. I love the desert feel to it, and the mountains in the distance, and it gets me really hyped for Arc 2 being on Unreal Engine 5. Day 5, and I'm still in the mountains taming Argies. I tamed up this level 140, and I named him Linus. And then me and the Argies just took a trip around Scorched Earth a bit. I just wanted to get myself familiar with the map, and to scout potential base locations. I found some rare resources now and then, so I grabbed those. I then came across this spot. There was a bit of a cliff face with a river underneath. The cliff face was nice and flat. I didn't notice too many wild dinos, so I marked it down, and if I don't find anything better, I'll probably build here. I got some oil rigs from a couple drops, and I came across these oil veins, so I placed them down so I can get some passive oil going. The morning of day 6, I come across this pack of Rexes. There's a couple of low levels and a nice 140 female. I kill the low level female, and then I decide to knock out the low level male so I can have a breeding pair for the kibble farm. After this spicy final shot, he goes down. I quickly go and make some cryopods so I can cryo the Rexes. And when I get back to pick up the low level male, the 140 female was just tearing it up, and I was too late. So I go ahead and get her stuck in the trap. This poor little Equus got stuck in the bear trap. But the Rex goes in, and I start knocking her out. After a bunch of tracks, she goes down on the evening of day 6. And after all that effort, she has terrible stats. But whatever. My little starter house has served me well, but it's time to upgrade. So I'm going to head over to that cliff face I marked down on the map, and we'll get started on making our main base. And here we are. So I'll start putting down some thatch foundations just for a temporary workshop. I placed down a smithy, fabricator, a bed, and then a table for some mortar and pestles. I then start the agonizing process to make adobe structures. These are so annoying to make, but you have to, unfortunately. So I'm just gathering a bunch of sand, stone, cactus sap, and then making them into clay, and then the clay into adobe structures. And then I got started on the base. This build took me quite a while. I've never really tried building something quite as big before, so it was a bit of a learning experience.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before the new. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss. I know that we're all screwed. Play our roles and ignore the problems. I like to be weighing my patience. Stay up, I feel so outdated. How can we look the other way? Sun is out, but the sky is gray. What would happen if I took a chance? It's always hard at first glance. I don't wanna, but I know I gotta do it. The truth is hard to swallow. I think I'll chew it.
Day 18, and I finished the base. This is the trophy room with the dermises from the bosses from the island, and of course their trophies. Upstairs is just a little veranda area. Got some torches for the lighting, and then heading into the workshop with the Indie Forge, chemistry bench, Fabian smithies, also with the cryo fridge. And through these doors is the greenhouse. This did not work, and it's not because of the roof above it, it's because of the cliff behind it. I had to make another one later, but I'll get to that later. And then under the workshop is just like the living area. So I've got the cooking pot, the grill, the fridge, the bed, and this table. And here's the whole view of the base. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I took some inspiration from other builds that I've seen, but most of it was just I built it as I went along. Never really built something this big, and I learnt quite a lot. Obviously S Plus helps with the building, but it was really fun. Took about 10 days. Obviously a lot of that was resource harvesting, and I did some other random crap. But yeah, really happy with how it turned out. Day 19, and I'm finishing off the base by building these huge walls, just using behemoth gates to block off the other sides of the cliff, so nothing can hurt my dinos. Day 20, and you can probably guess what I'm preparing for, and that is the Wyvern Trench. Wyvern? Wyvern? I don't know. But I head over, and one of the first ones I spot is actually an alpha. But I get this base set up just to protect the generator. I put a bed in and a fridge. The fridge is for the wyvern milk. Obviously you need that to raise up the eggs. I know I don't technically need it with my rates, but I like to get it anyway, because otherwise I feel like I'm cheating. I get the heavy turrets all powered up, and now it's time to piss off the alpha. Turrets take him down pretty easily, but it's pretty funny. As the wyvern comes over the crest of the rocks, I think my character just pooped himself, which I thought was entertaining. But when you kill a wyvern, you actually get 50 of the wyvern milk. So I'd go straight home and just put that in the fridge, just so it's safe. Obviously put the trophy up, and then I head back to the trench to find some eggs. I've cleared some of the wyverns in this area, and spot this fire 75 egg, and then I spotted this lightning egg, so I go check it out. And heck yeah, a level 180 lightning. Amazing. I leave the lightning there for now, I'll grab it in a minute, but I grab the fire one just to aggro all the wyverns in the area, and then the turrets can take them all out. The level 180 lightning hits me with one blast, and holy crap, it takes Willa down to half HP. But now they're all dead, I grab the 180 lightning, and decide that's good enough for me now. So I head back home to go and hatch it up. Day 22, and the wyvern has finally hatched up. And I don't really know what the wyvern stats are supposed to be like, but they seem pretty good to me. I name him Aberration. I'm glad I got some wyvern milk, cause that's what he wanted for his first imprint. And more milk for his second imprint. Now I've just gotta wait until he's fully raised. Day 23, and I'm leveling up Aberration. He's already a beast. I've never had a lightning wyvern before, but I can tell why people like them the most. And this is where I noticed the updated Explorer notes, and David Tennant knocks it out of the park with these.
Thy name is Prophet's Rest. After a proper meal and some time out of the sun, the makeshift fortress doesn't look half as grand as its name might imply. Yet, when I first sighted its walls from across the dunes, it may as well have been El Dorado itself, so grateful was I to find it. Thus far, I have seen little of the inhabitants, but they seem a hospitable sort. I've been given food, shelter, and even a wet cloth to clean myself with. Quite generous of them, considering how scarce water is in these lands. Their clothing is a curiosity, however. Those robes seem more ceremonial than functional.
Like I said, David Tennant is amazing as Rockwell. I'm pretty psyched for the animated series. I hope he's got a fairly big role in it. I did come across this loot crate, so I marked it on the map so I know where to check again. And inside the loot crate was this extremely good UD saddle. This will be very helpful for the final fight. I came across my first Deathworm, so I wanted to see how Aberration would fare against it. And yeah, it went how you would expect. 4 blasts and the Deathworm was gone. Very nice. Because of this raging success, I wanted to see if I could take down a Titanosaur. Never done this before, but if anything can do it, a lightning wyvern can. It took me a while, because I think they have like 250,000 health, but it did go down eventually, and I got quite a few levels for it. Here are the stats that I have on Aberration, and then I got an extra couple levels on my character. End of day 23, and I got this nice pair of flak leggings. Day 24 was Thyla Day. I just spent all of the morning looking for a high level Thyla to tame, and I just killed all the ones around. There was heaps of them, so it didn't take me too long to find this 150. So I dropped her in the trap, started tranking her out. I found a ramshackle rifle, so it didn't take too many tranks before she went down. And then I fed her some cooked prime meat. Thyla's like cooked meat over raw meat. And then I experienced my first sandstorm. And these are stupid because you literally can't do anything. So I just had to wait out the rest of the day. If you can't handle cute, adorable little puppies, maybe skip forward about 30 seconds. These 7 little pups are the reason why it took me so long to make this video. Over the last 2 months, my wife and I have been caring and raising for these guys. This week they are going off to their new families. I just want to thank you guys for your amazing support. I can't believe how well my channel has done after just 2 videos. Please keep up the support, and I promise to get better and quicker at making these videos. We have almost reached 1,000 subs, so if you aren't already, hit that button because it costs you nothing and it helps me out so much. Thanks again, and back to the last 25 days. Day 25, and I started by marking all of the desert loot crates. I want to do a run every now and then to collect all the loot. They're basically the deep sea loot crates, but in the desert. I got some really good ghillie blueprints, but the rest were garbage. Day 26, and I am back looking for Thylas. I find this level 130 male after not too long, and you know how this goes. Trap, knockout, tame. Now that I have a high level breeding pair, I can get them together and get an imprinted one for some caving. On the evening of day 26, I tame up these low level Rexes, again just to get them for kibble purposes. Day 27, and I'm breeding the Thylas to get an imprinted one. And finally getting started on making exceptional kibble. I get a baby Thyla, and she's got the good stats, so I'll raise her up, and I absolutely love her colours. Not too keen on the green, but I love the purple. I then got a heatwave, so I flew around the map to see if I could find a phoenix, but no luck. I got back and realized my Thyla had raised up without me imprinting it, so I sent her to the farm. And then I got a new Thyla baby. Just ignore the corpse of your sister, it's fine. I spotted this level 145 Rex earlier, so I get it trapped and knocked out. By the morning of day 28, she finally goes down. While I'm waiting for the Rex to tame, I grab some loot drops. I get this nice pair of ghillie boots, and then this extremely rude deathworm interrupts me, so I have to exact my vengeance. I get back in time for the Rex, and she tames out with a decent health stat. I'm pretty happy with that. I then head back home so I can get the imprint on my Thyla. And this is the part where I started messing around with the greenhouse. So the problem with the original greenhouse is that cliff above it blocks sunlight, and if the greenhouse doesn't have direct sunlight, it won't get the greenhouse effect. I did not know that. So I have to build one right on the edge here, and it gets some of the greenhouse effect, but I think I need more of the greenhouse walls to get it fully. I then end the day by painting all my gear, making myself look a little bit nicer, and I love the Wyvern gloves. They look sick. Day 29, and I wanted to kill some more Titanosaurs. After the island ascension, I got an extra 15 levels, so I'm determined to get to the max before I head over to Aberration. I spotted another high level female Rex, so I decided to tame that as well to hopefully get a higher melee stat. Day 30 started with violence against the Titanosaur population. I was then determined to get some boss killing Rexes. There's a spot in the southeast of the map where you can basically spawn infinite Rexes. There's a spiked rock behind me in the desert, and as you can see there's one in front of me. There's a Rex there, so you kill the Rex, get rid of the body, and then go to the other spike behind you. You just keep doing this over and over, and a new Rex will always spawn. After killing a bunch of Rexes, finally a 145 spawns. So I tame it up, and has okay-ish melee. I tame another high level Rex, and still no stat improvements. I pick up this red drop that has an insane riot helmet when a alpha deathworm spawns. And we absolutely clap its cheeks. Thanks for the sweet helmet. I go back to the Rex Triangle, and I'm killing Rexes upon Rexes upon Rexes until day 34, when a level 174 Tech Rex spawns. It has 8k health pre-tame. Then once it's tamed, it comes out over 10k health, and the 340 melee is also pretty nice. I can now show off my Alpha Wyvern and Alpha Deathworm trophy. I don't have the footage of me building this greenhouse, but I built this greenhouse and it's kind of boring, but it does the job. I also tamed this dung beetle, so I can get easy fertilizer. I then go to get my first artifact.
I suppose this ark must be floating among the stars, just as the island was. What an extraordinary thought. I cannot fathom how such a thing is possible. But that remarkable metal must be at the heart of it. I am certain.
After getting the 2 artifacts, I head back to the Rex Triangle to find a male Tech Rex. I eventually do. It's a low level, but I can breed upwards, so I knock him out. I get them breeding straight away, and it was at this point I decided that I could probably finish Scorched Earth in 50 days, so I'm gonna try and do that. I went out to get a date on, and found this level 130. I then made a stack of cryopods. I headed back to the Wyvern Trench because I wanted to get some more eggs, and I also need to get more talons because you'll need 20 talons from each Wyvern to spawn the Alpha Manticore. Wyvern on Wyvern fighting is actually kind of annoying, but eventually I can get the hang of it and I take them all out. I'm then able to grab a level 150 fire egg and a level 45 fire egg. After not too long of breeding, I'm able to get a perfect male to mate with the female, so now they both have the exact same stats. I then hatch and raise up all of my wyverns. I got the 2 fire, a poison, and 1 more lightning. I named the fire wyvern Azula. I don't name the others because I don't even use them. Over the next couple of days, all I did was raise up the wyverns, collect a bunch of metal, and get a bunch of XP notes to level up fully. Day 41 and I got the final artifact. I haven't really shown much of these caves. They're really short and straightforward, and honestly kinda boring. I then get back to breeding the Rex army. I'm not doing any mutations on these Rexes. They're pretty strong as is, and the Manticore is hella weak, so I don't think I need to do anything extra. Day 41, and I'm back at the trench gathering talons. Still don't have 20 of each that I need, so I'll probably have to do another trip after this. The next day, I'm looking for a Yudi. I've been killing everyone I see, and this level 100 is the highest level that I've found. So it's good enough for now, so I net it, and cage it, and get it knocked out. She finally tames up, and she comes out with 7k health and 1200 stamina. I can work with that. Takes me until day 43 to find a male. This is a level 35, so again, pretty low, but it is what it is. Day 44 and 45 were more Rex breeding. I got this amazing shotgun from a loot drop. I've been stocking up Rex eggs and doing some meat runs. And then on day 46 was my final run at the Wyvern Trench, just to get the talons that I need to spawn Alpha Manticore. Day 47 starts off with me building this killing chamber. I'm pretty sure you know what's about to happen next, but baby Rexes get hatched, and baby Rexes get eaten. I'm sorry, but it's the fastest way to do it. So I'm leveling these Rexes up to 25k health, and then about 650 melee. And I managed to get my Yudi up to 20k health and 4k stamina, which is actually really good, way more than enough for the Manticore. The Rex army is ready to go, they've just got to be healed up, so I spend all of day 48 doing that. Day 49 is the final prep day, so I'm making a bunch of shotgun bullets. I've got to cryopod all the Rexes, got to get my armor right. I'm taking in a gas mask because the Manticore shoots like a toxic blast. And then obviously I've got to get my army set on the podium. Now, it's time to say goodbye. It was only a short stay here on Scorched Earth, but it was an enjoyable one. I actually didn't have a death on this run, and none of my dinos died either. Well, none by accident. I'm sad to leave this base, as I'm really proud of what I accomplished here. And I really wish I could take Aberration with me, cause damn, this guy is such a beast. And to the rest of the crew, I couldn't have done it without you. Especially you, Jezza. Okay, day 50 is here. It's time to ascend. Time to slay the Alpha Manticore. Let's go! Boom! The Alpha is down, and the tribe of Mr. Professor triumphs once again. As we ascend to Aberration, I just want to thank everyone again for their patience. Please like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.
You continue to impress, Survivor. As you have grown in strength, I have been searching Helena's memories, finding what I have forgotten all these long years. Her friends, and the journeys they had. Was it all for nothing? No. It had to be done, so that one day you could exist. Together, you and I, we can put this right. You must travel onwards, Survivor, for your greatest trials are still to come.